Hi everyone, good afternoon. It's awesome to be here and chat to you today. So I wanted to talk to you today. I was asked to talk about a topic that I was passionate about, and this topic came to mind, so Embrace the Unknown, which eventually led me to the circular economy. So it's a universal experience we all encounter, the opportunity we're given to embrace the unknown. So by diving into the unknown, we open up a world of amazing possibilities, and we give ourselves the chance to grow in ways we never imagined. Our desire is for safety and predictability, and that can often hold us back from seizing opportunities or exploring new experiences. But when we choose to embrace the unknown, we allow ourselves to pursue something truly beautiful, and that is to discover our true self. So I have a very personal connection to this topic that dates back to my school days. And I vividly remember reading Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. I'm not sure if anyone's read that as well, which urged readers to take the road less travelled. So this was part of the poem. Two roads diverged in a wood. And I kept rereading this poem as a primary school aged child, and really thinking, hang on a minute, you can take the road less travelled, like you can do things differently, and you don't need to follow what others are doing. It was really like a mini mindset pivot for me at that time, to realise that there's another world out there, and your imagination can take you there. So for me today, the road less travelled became the journey of co-founding Designerex, which is the world's largest peer-to-peer designer dress sharing platform. And I'll go into a bit more detail about the platform. But firstly, I want to share with you a bit of backstory about me and Designerex and how I came to co-founding this business and embracing the unknown along the way. So as a young girl from a single, low-income parent household, I wasn't around business people much or have access to money or networks to leverage. So I really didn't feel set up for success. But more importantly, on the fashion side, the only thing I was consuming was crop tops and tank tops from Supre. So to say I didn't have a fashion background is a bit of an understatement. So I had a happy childhood, regardless. I was given the freedom and license to explore and experience, deal with adversity early, and follow my heart. So you can imagine I had quite a way to go to get myself into the right mindset to create a company, build it, and execute on an idea. So my journey highlights every aspect of my life, came together and ultimately enabled me to pursue the idea that is Designerex today. And I'm hoping this may spark some inspiration in your life to either keep pursuing what you're doing or to dive into the unknown and back yourself. So straight out of high school, I landed a job in real estate. So I was like Sally and Julie, 9 months. I had my application to McDonald's in straight away and worked there for 4 years, and I was a great worker. And they thought I was going to go into be a team leader and a manager. But I was out of there by 18 and applied for any job I could in the city. At that time, I was in the Blue Mountains, and I just wanted to get to the city. So I applied for any single job that said Sydney CBD, and I landed in real estate. And that's where I met my life partner. So you may also, if you do it that way, you might meet your life partner at 19. But so that's where I ended up. And he had his own agency, and so we were growing that. And he had also invented the world's first digital real estate for sale sign. So when your for sale sign out the front of your property, he had had the patent. And developed the world's first digital version. So that's me at 22, very proud, going on a roadshow selling this new product. It was digital. You could update any details you wanted, put a digital sold sign, and eventually we were going to sell advertising on site. So a big chunk of my story here is that we sold the agency to focus full-time on this innovative product. But unfortunately, we brought on the wrong person. He wanted the company for himself, and he eventually did get it in ways that we didn't agree. And so we ended up in the New South Wales Supreme Court for a few years, fighting for justice and fighting for our company and trying to stand up for what was right. Without going into too much detail about the court process and how it's designed to take all your cash really quickly, burn it, we ended up having to end our fight and we lost the company. And so that's where I landed just another job in real estate. That was my background. And that was where my skills lay, which was in property management, a thankless job. But this is really where we snapped into gear. And we heightened our awareness of opportunities around us because we had lost everything. And we had, nothing to lose. So we were, open eyes, open ears. So that's when I got a job for an agency in Potts Point. And this photo is quite pivotal because, I don't normally share a picture of me in a change room, but sometimes, moments may change your life, and this was one of them. So for the agency, they have a yearly awards night, it's a black tie event, and I find myself, if anyone knows the Strand Arcade in Sydney, level 1, it's got designer shops. I didn't know that. I found them, and then I was trying on dresses, and I found a dress for this event, and it was $1,000. And I was standing there trying to justify how this makes sense. $1,000, my partner's like, this doesn't make sense. You're only going to wear it once. This is not a good idea. And I thought it was somehow a great idea because I fell in love with it. And this is the dress. I'm not going to continue. I found it. So we eventually left the shop without buying it. And my partner, I think, believed that I wasn't going to get it. But I just knew I was going to find a way to get it. I just didn't know. I was racking my brain, like maybe my brother could help me and my mum could chip in. And because $1,000 was my paycheck for the week and I just couldn't justify it. So that's when I went back to the office and I swung my chair around to my co-workers and was like, told them my dilemma. And one of the girls said, you can rent dresses on Facebook. And I was like, no, I didn't know that. And so I went researching on Facebook and found a stylist in Perth who had about 20 dresses. And she had this dress in my size. And it was a new season dress from a popular designer at the time, which might have helped. But I emailed her and it was available. And I was like, cool, I need it. And it was about $150 to rent it. And so she's like, cool, just email me your credit card details. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I just emailed her all my personal details. And she was like, can you send it back to me, like when you're done with it? And I was like, yeah, of course I will. But so that's when we realized, like, this isn't very secure. And at scale, this might not work. Like, Facebook isn't going to help everyone, chase down a dress or, stop a credit card transaction. So that's when, so next slide is me really proud because I'm wearing the dress and it was a great night. And so I was, very happy to wear it once. I paid 15% of the retail price. So I found a solution somehow. It worked out in the end. But that's when my partner and I really sat down and was like, this is a big opportunity. After some research, no one was doing it. No one was doing peer-to-peer fashion renting. There was early day players doing inventory models, so they were buying dresses, but that really didn't give the individual consumer the power to buy what they want and make money from it. So that's when we started to work out what we wanted to do about this problem. So this is in 2014 when I came across the problem. And this is another quite big moment for me when I was working at the agency. And I'd put myself in line for another job. So I was in property management, and I'd put myself in line for a PA position for one of the best sales agents in the country. I figured that's a better position. It was paying more, it paid commissions, and I didn't have to do property management, which is just terrible. 200 emails a day, like it's terrible. So I was proposed with these types of comments. Like, he's a sales agent, and so he was trying to sell me to stay and work for him. So it was a really interesting moment because I was about to quit, and this job position promotion came up at the same time. So I had this in front of my face, a bigger promotion, more money, or chase a dream. It's risky, you might lose everything again, and just really bad. But it was, the point is that this might happen in your life. Like, there might be two really great options in front of you, or one's scary and one's really safe, and you just might need to take the scarier option, or take the unknown option. That's what I did. I took the unknown option and quit my job. At that time, we had raised a small round of $100,000 off the back of lodging another patent around this idea. Our journey took us to, so we're ex-real estate agents, not technology, not fashion, not e-commerce. So what we did was kind of like, who's doing this? Who's doing it really similar? We came across Airbnb. They were doing something similar where they're connecting people. And so we looked at what platform they had built on. They had built on Ruby on Rails, and they were scaling globally. And that's what we wanted to do. So we were like, okay, Ruby on Rails is our code. Let's go find developers. So we went around Sydney looking for developers. We were getting quotes for $200,000 to build us this thing, this idea, this platform. And so we had to be resourceful. So we wanted Ruby on Rails. We found a developer in Nepal. So we got a referral from a Nepalese developer here who couldn't help us but referred us to a team in Nepal who quoted us $10,000 to build the platform. So build an MVP platform. And so we went with them, which was amazing. And we thought that it was a project-based, like 3 months, 10,000, and then we're happy days, we're running a business for years. That wasn't the case. You fix something, something breaks, and so on. And so we stayed with them. They're still with us today, 6-7 years later. So they're amazing. And that was another lesson for us to just hustle a little bit more and not pay $200,000 when we only had $100,000. So we launched in 2016, January 2016. I chase a bit of perfection. My partner's an executor. So prior to launching, I was like tearing and crying because the platform we launched was just, full of bugs and it wasn't great. And so we launched, but a few months later, we featured on the Today Show, and that was an organic feature. So at this point, we were in our living room, just with our Google Analytics open, just constantly. It was like a feature. And so at one point, it spiked, and it was coming from a source, Channel 9. And so this was another moment for us where it validated what we were doing and the journey that we were on was the right one. Oh, this is a little video about Designerex quickly. So that was just a bit of an overview to just quickly get you up to speed with what the platform is. So in simple terms, just like what Depop and eBay did for resale, Designerex we're doing for peer-to-peer fashion renting. So one global platform with advanced e-commerce tools and technology to scale a solution for maximum reach and impact, and really pioneering the shift from fashion rental. Yeah, so this is a really super interesting case study just to give you an idea of the power of the platform. And every day we empower consumers to, with their fashion choices. So a Melbourne girl listed her dress after she had bought too many for her engagement party, she told us. She felt a bit guilty, so she popped it up hoping that she would get some kind of return or offset some of the price. It turned out that she rented it to 30 different women and made $2,500 back from, and this dress was only worth $365, so it's not like very expensive, but that proves that there's demand for these one-off special occasion dresses. Even if you're paying 30 or 40% of the retail price, you're still saving 60% if you only intend on wearing it once. And this brand had actually sold out on this dress, so the only way you could access it, and people were after it, was through peer-to-peer renting. So if it was on the resale site, for example, one person would get it and it would be back in their wardrobe for another 6 months. This is every weekend, this item can be booked over and over again. So there is no other fashion consumption model that can extract this much value and this much sustainability out of a single item. And just to touch more about sustainability, so for example, linear consumption just reaches like one person. You buy it, you put it in your wardrobe, which is great. The forever pieces are amazing. So that's why we specifically focus on special occasion wear and seasonal pieces that you tend to only want to wear once or twice. Resale reaches one or two other people once it sells and then back in someone's wardrobe again because you've nabbed a bargain, you want to keep it for another day. Peer-to-peer renting is an on-demand fashion experience, so every single booking is for a special occasion. And this shows how many people can be reached with one item through peer-to-peer fashion rental. So Designerex as a whole, we're more than just a platform that facilitates rental transactions. We help spark joy in people's lives. This isn't about just nabbing a bargain. Every single booking, like I said, is for someone's special occasion. It's super important to them. It's meaningful to them. They're creating lifelong memories with every transaction that we facilitate. So that's super special to us. So back to my point about embracing the unknown. So what happened when I embraced the unknown? Beautiful things happened, and we now impact thousands of users every single day. And I just want to finish on one of my favorite quotes. Hang on, it is this one. So generally, I'm not, like a yes person. I'm actually in transition from a yes person to a no person. But when when you're offered opportunities, and particularly ones that scare you or make you feel like, actually, no, I'm going to say no to that, even though it's like kind of aligns with me. I'm going to say no. Those are the times you need to say yes, and those are the times that is really going to move the needle on your life. And so this is it's a quote, but it's a tool that I implement in my life to really push myself and push the boundaries for our platform. And I implement this every day. So if you're wondering how do you find that purpose and how do you enter the unknown, you've got to say yes when you're scared, and then work it out later. So you'll work it out later. Just say yes, of course. Like my PA role, I have no idea how to be a PA. I'm very unorganized, and the girls here will know that. But I said yes because it was a better opportunity and I was going to just figure it out some way. And I'm literally doing that every day with the platform too. I don't know much about tech. I'm still catching up from my Supre days. So the lesson is just say yes to, when you feel that feeling, it's like that's a bit scary. Just say yes and then go back to the drawing board and just figure it out. So if that's something I can leave you with, or if I inspire one person today, yeah, I'll be very happy. So thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.